Hello everyone, Jacob here. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about this structure right here, now that plus a full sentence and then another full sentence. And in Korean, this basically translates to 이제 뭐뭐 하기 때문에. But you could also translate this maybe to 이제 뭐뭐 해서 or 이제 뭐뭐 하니까 or 이제 뭐뭐 하니. So there's a lot of ways that you could translate this in Korean. Anyway, we use this structure basically to talk about the results of something that happened recently. Something that happened recently. Okay? And I'm putting these in two different colors to kind of go with these colors up here. In the first sentence, you want to talk about something that happened recently. You'll say now that, and then something that happened recently, and then you'll talk about the result. All right? So it's actually a pretty straightforward, pretty easy structure to use, but it's very common, very useful. So let's go ahead and look at some examples. Now that it's winter. Now that it's winter, I can't ride my motorcycle. I usually ride a motorcycle to work because it's much faster and more comfortable. But now that it's winter, I can't ride my motorcycle. It's terrible. So again, here we have now that, and then we have something that happened recently. It's winter. It became winter quite recently. And then in the next sentence, we have the result of this. I can't ride my motorcycle. So another way to say this would just be because it's winter, I can't ride my motorcycle. But we use this now that specifically to talk about something that happened recently. All right, so it is a little bit more specific that way. Let's look at another example. Now that Steve Jobs is dead. Now that Steve Jobs is dead, Apple isn't as innovative. Okay? Apple is not as innovative as before. At least that's what some people think. Some people think that the new iPhone is not very innovative. Some people think that the iPad mini is not very innovative. So now that Steve Jobs is dead, Apple isn't as innovative as before. All right. So again, we talked about something that happens recently. Steve Jobs died pretty recently, about a year ago. And then we talk about the result. Let's look at one last example and then we'll move on. I don't use my laptop. I don't use my laptop. Laptop is, I think, the better way to say notebook. Notebook is kind of Konglish. When you're speaking English, I recommend just saying laptop. I don't use my laptop now that I have an iPad. I don't use my laptop now that I have an iPad. So again, another example related to Apple, except in this example, we changed the order, okay? So first, we talked about the result. So let me put that in pink. I don't use my laptop. Here, this is the result. Now that, and then we have kind of something that happened recently. I bought an iPad recently. All right, so this is okay too. You can change the order of the sentence like this if you want. Both ways is fine, okay? I hope you understood this lesson. This is a very useful structure that is used all the time in conversation, so I hope you practice it, and I'll see you next time.